Sleep hygiene. Avoid these 3 sleep landmines. Hey, welcome back to episode 8. You look really well today. I look really well today myself. Why, thank you for saying so. Now, today we have a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about 2 things: sleep hygiene and sleep landmines. And I want you to imagine you are over here and your good sleep and high energy in the day are over here. So, to get from where you're at to if you imagine that there was this place where as soon as you step here, you had good sleep in the night so that you had more energy in the day, more power in the day, more hours to do the things that you want to do. However, imagine it's not on a piece of paper, but yeah, we could have it on a piece of paper, but it is 1915 and you are over here in Germany, and to get to this place there are ditches, there are trenches, there's also barbed wire over here, and there are landmines sprinkled all over from where you are to the place where you have the things that you want. What if we removed everything, all the barbed wire, all those landmines? Would you say getting to that place where you have great sleep at night, so you have a great day during the day, would be easier? I agree. So, 3 landmines we're gonna talk about. 3 landmines that we're gonna remove so that you get from where you're at to that place where you get more energy, more power, more hours in the day for the things that you want. How does that sound? It sounds good. I like how it sounds as well, so let's get started. Imagine you and me are sitting in a hair salon, and the hair salon, I want you to think of it in the colors of pink, of bright pink and bright yellow. All the walls are in bright pink and bright yellow, the sofas and chairs. On this side, on this wall, imagine 2 dozen chairs. Pink, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow, going in all these colors. And also, you can see balloons, 100 balloons, 50 pink balloons and 50 yellow balloons all around that room. Julia, our character from episode 1, and by the way, if you're confused at any point, just go back to episode 1 and rewatch the first few minutes to kind of get into the flow of how I structure these episodes and how I teach inside here. So episode 1, we met our first character, Julia, who we haven't met in a long time, and now she is back and she is celebrating. She has a double day of celebration. She is celebrating 1, her 21st birthday, and 2, she is celebrating the grand opening of her hair salon, of her business, of her dream finally coming true. And she's excited. Imagine your dream finally coming true in front of your eyes. How excited, how amazing would you feel? That is how Julia was feeling today. Her face looked like a happy emoji grinning from left ear to right ear. And you could see, as you look towards the door, business women in business suits coming in whites and blacks and dark blues, just coming inside. And Julia, she had been running Facebook ads the last few days, and she had given even a $100 coupon off of any hairstyle. So now they had just opened the doors of her hair salon, and women, they were starting to come in. The chairs quickly filled up, and Julia and all her 11 other hairstylists, her army of hairstylists, they took position behind the women sitting on those chairs. They took a pair of black scissors in the right hand, a pink comb in the left hand, and they started working. And Julia, She worked. The last night, by the way, Julia was so excited that she could not sleep. She was way too. There were all these emotions flowing in her body. And by the way, have you ever felt like that? Like just before sleep, just before going to bed, you felt so excited about the day next that you had coming up, or maybe there was a presentation or something new, something big, or maybe you were stressed out. You just had very high emotions and you found yourself you couldn't sleep and asking yourself, oh, I don't want to be less during the day next, but I don't seem to be able to do anything. If you've ever asked anything like that, and if you've ever wondered what do I do in that situation, well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you as we go through this episode in just a few minutes from now, exactly what to do in those situations, something I found to work. I've tried different things. What I'm gonna reveal today is something I've never revealed before. So stay tuned for that. Now, I want you to imagine it. Julia has been working from 8 o'clock and now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she's still working in flow. Her hands are moving like two love dancers dancing salsa together. She's just so immersed, so engaged in what she's doing. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful sight to see. And as she's working, you could hear the doorbell ringing and the sharp noise of heels walking in, and a sharp voice saying, I am looking for Julia. Where is Julia? At the noise, at this voice, Julia froze. Her face went from a happy emoji stretching from left ear to right ear to a shocked emoji, because she instantly recognized that voice as the voice of a wisest, the voice of the woman who had put her into bad sleep, who had given her not just bad sleep, but who had cost her her job, who had called her a failure, and who told her that she is gonna come back and give her bad sleep once again. Now Julia turned slowly, and as she did, oh wisest, she spread her arms and she said, Julia, congratulations on your 21st birthday, girl. You're getting older, but you're also open, and congratulations on your grand opening. I'm so happy for you, but I was a little bit offended, you didn't invite me, but hey, we're friends, it's okay. So, Eliza sat on one of the chairs without waiting for permission, and she said, I want a new haircut. I want something in, imagine the bottom of the ocean. I want my hair to look like the waves at the bottom of the ocean. Julia, she did not want to cause a scene, so she went to Eliza's. She said, okay, let's do this. All right, said Eliza's, and how have you been feeling lately? I'm curious, how have you been sleeping? At this question, Julia, she went back to the night before when she thought about how excited she was about her grand opening, how she was rolling around in bed, she couldn't sleep, and she had decided to get up from bed and go to the kitchen and sit there on a small wooden kitchen table on one of her white wooden chairs, and she took her phone in her right hand and started texting all her hairstylists that were next to her today. And that right there is landmine number 1 to avoid from the journey between you and that magic place of good sleep at night and high energy, of more energy, more power, more hours for you during the day. The first landmine on that road to avoid: screens. Bright blue and bright screens in particular. For me, the big thing, bright screens, avoid them. If you want to use your phone or your laptop before bed, that is perfectly okay. Just go to the brightness option, press your index finger or your thumb by like the index finger on the brightness scroll and move it to minimum. Alright, that's my tip there. Let's continue. Julia said to Oasis, ever since you left, Oasis, I've been sleeping pretty well as soon as you left me. Oh, that is good to hear, said Oasis. And girl, you look pretty well. I love your figure. You must be eating well. At this, Julia thought back again to her last night when she was texting all her friends. She had quite a big meal. She had ate a full 6 slices of pizza. But as she was texting, she felt a little bit hungry. So she went to her white fridge. She took one piece of pizza from there. She went back, sat on her kitchen table and texting with her right hand. She started eating pizza, munching on it with her left hand. But then as soon as she finished that slice of pizza, she felt hungry again. So she went to the fridge door, she took another slice of pizza, she ate that as well, while still texting, looking at the bright screen of her phone with the brightness adjusted at maximum. And then she felt again a little bit hungry after that second slice. So she took a third slice of pizza, went back to her kitchen table and ate that as well. And that, my friend, is the second landmine to avoid between you and good sleep. The second landmine: overeating before bed. Some people would suggest that, you should not eat right before bed. You should stop like 8 hours before bed. You should stop any eating and any drinking. And to me, that's going way too far. I've ate 10, even 5 minutes before going to bed. It's not a big deal. I've ate and I've slept without any problems. How, you may ask? I listen to my body. If my body says, hey, I'm feeling full, let's stop eating anymore, I go, alright, no more food. Typically I stop 2 hours before bed any eating, but again, I've ate just 15, maybe 20 minutes before bed, and I've went to sleep without any troubles. The big key to me, so if you want to have some little snack right before bed, to me that's totally fine. The big thing here, listening to your body and to your gut. Gut says, yes, I want food. Give it food. Give it what it wants. Gut says, no, I don't want any food. I'm gonna feel bad all night. I'm gonna digest the food in your stomach all night long. I'm gonna keep you awake. Okay, gut, I'm gonna listen to you. No more food. Tomorrow we'll have some more. Make sense? Make sense? Good. Let's continue. Before Julia could answer Oasis's question, one of the hairstylists, one of the girls there, went to Oasis and asked her, Miss, I see you don't have anything to drink. Would you like something to drink? Oasis said, oh, yes, I would. I would like to have a cup of coffee, please. Cup of coffee, very well. And what about you, Julia? How do you drink your coffee? At this question, Julia went back to her previous night a third time. As she was texting and eating that pizza, all those pizza slices, she also felt thirsty. So she decided she wanted to make herself a cup of coffee, and she made herself a big cup of coffee. And as she drank that, she then went to bed feeling very full, a little bit over full after 9 total pieces of pizza. And after drinking that cup of coffee, after all that, she would not fall asleep that entire night. And that right there, you could probably guess already that is the third landmine to avoid between where you're at and the place of good sleep and all the energy and power and hour that you want to have during your day to do the things that you want to do. It's caffeine. You want to avoid that. Simple as that. So Julia, she said, well, I've been, when it comes to coffee, wait, Julia. Julia started getting a little bit suspicious now. She asked Oasis, hey, have you been spying on me again? If you remember episode 1, Oasis was kind of spying on Julia, following her from her bed to her bathroom as she was bathing, and even at her job as she was doing her work. She was following her all around, spying on her, whispering in her ear, saying that she is going to fail. So she asked her, hey, you're not doing the same now, are you? Or Oasis, she just smiled slightly, but said nothing. So Julia decided to finish her hair as soon as possible. And by the way, that tip that I mentioned, what do you do in those situations where you are feeling very excited before bed, very high, in a very high emotional state? That is coming up in just a few minutes. So stay tuned for that as well. So, and the thing that I'm gonna share, by the way, I don't wanna reveal it yet. So, Julia working on Oasis's hair. After 5 more minutes, she said, done. You're ready. Oasis, you could see her going like this in the mirror, and her flocks of hair, they were now black and dark blue as the waves of the ocean right before a storm, moving, flowing, foreboding of bad news. I love it, said Oasis. And she sprang up, jumped up, and said, Julia, thank you so much. I wish you a lot of luck with your business. And hey, as she went to the door, before she went out, she went back and she said, and I wish you a good night's sleep tonight. She winked and she went out. Now, how about, originally I thought of ending the episode right here, but then I had another idea. Hey, how about I give you a bonus tip, a bonus landmine to avoid, because there is one landmine between you and the good sleep and the high energy that you want in the day. There is one landmine that is as explosive as overeating and blue bright screens and caffeine all together. Would you like me to share with you what that landmine is? Because even if you avoid all these other ones, if you don't avoid this, you're not getting there. You're just not. So, you want me to reveal what that is? Yes? Let's get to it. So, we're going to the Bat Cave now. We're going to Aaron. To Aaron, the Batman of cybersecurity. And if you don't know who he is, we mentioned him in episode 5, so you may want to rewatch that if you want, but you don't need to for this one. So we're in the Bat Cave, and you can see Aaron sitting at his computer screens, typing furiously, fighting against the cyber hackers, the Jokers and the Riddlers and the Two-Faces and all the other ones of cyber hacking. And as you can see, the 12 screens that he's looking at with numbers and letters on them, one of them instantly flashes in bright red and then it disappears. Aaron, he doesn't even notice that he continues to work, and then a screen 5 minutes later flashes in bright yellow for just a fraction of a second, but this time Aaron notices it. He stops, he looks at the screen suspiciously, but the screen is just letters and numbers now. He rubs his eyes thinking it's just too much work, I've been working way too long. He continues working. 3 hours later, however, another screen flashes in bright blue, and this time Aaron notices it. It's just a fraction of a second again, but he notices it. He stops working immediately. He gets up from his chair, he looks at all the screens, crosses his arms, looks around, and Aaron, he said to himself, challenge accepted. So he started working. He was supposed to finish work at 4 o'clock that day, but you would see him working from 4 until 11 o'clock that night. He kept working, he kept looking for what was causing these weird flashes on his screens. But now, as I mentioned, it's 11 o'clock and he hasn't found anything. So now he steps up from his computer screen and he says to himself, well, it's been 7 hours now that I've been looking for this. I am not finding anything. So if there's nothing I can find, I guess maybe I just imagined them. I'm just gonna go back to sleep. So Aaron, he went home, but that night, as soon as he put his head on his pillow, he could not fall asleep because he kept thinking back to those screens. Who is causing this? He was thinking to himself, is it a Russian? Is it a Russian cyber hacker? Is it a Chinese cyber hacker? Is it one of the American ones? Or is it a brand new hacker, someone that I had never met before? Who is doing this? And as I'm sleeping here, as I'm laying in bed, what are they doing right now? Is this what they're waiting for me to go to bed and now attack? So Aaron, he was asking himself all these questions, and do you think he went to sleep that night? No, he did not went to sleep. And that right there, between you and your good sleep, this is the biggest, most explosive landmine. This is stress. Because to our primitive brain, to our 2 million-year-old brain, it perceives stress as actual physical danger. To your brain, stress feels like somebody pulling up a knife or pulling up a gun and pointing it to you. The bigger the stress, the bigger the gun. A lot of stress, you feel like you have a laser beam next to your heart. So question is, what do you do, right? So if you have some stress in your life or some anxiety and you have that right before sleep and you're wondering, well, what do I do? How do I handle this so I can get sleep and have that energy that I need during the day to do all the things that I want? Well, let me show you. I'm gonna show you first what you need to do, and then I'm gonna explain it to you. Alright? Sounds good? Let's do it. So physically, what you wanna do looks something like this. This is what I call a primal shake. What is a primal shake? Well, I want you to imagine a French bulldog yapping and wagging his little tail very cheerfully, jumping around, and his owner, a man wearing black boots, heavy black boots with sharp edge on them, he takes his boot and he kicks that bulldog right in the stomach. Imagine he did that. Now, obviously that man has to be put on an electrical chair and let him stay there for a while until he fries up that motherfucker. But the French bulldog, how is he gonna react? As soon as that man kicks him in the stomach or wherever, that bulldog is gonna do one of these. The bulldog is instantly going to shake itself off, and you see this everywhere in the animal kingdom, from dogs to cats to monkeys in the jungle. Whenever, as soon as something stressful happens, they shake their bodies instantly. And this, why do they do it? Well, see, stress, it doesn't accumulate in the head, it accumulates, it builds up in the body, it gets stored up, and that is why before bed you might find yourself not being able to sleep, especially on those days when you've had a lot of stress during the day. All that stress, it just gets built up in your body, so at night your brain remembers it and it keeps you awake. So what do? Do this. Do a primal shake. That is it. Do a primal shake. Whenever you feel a lot of stress building up, do a primal shake. Before bed, do a primal shake. You, right now, right after the end of this video, try it out. Even if you're at work, go to the toilet, go to the bathroom and freaking do it. I promise you, right afterwards, you're gonna feel better than you did before that. That is guaranteed. So, this is it for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. And before I give you a preview about what's coming up next, I want to tell you, next episode coming up Friday, November 15th. And I want to also tell you, if you have some questions for me, comment below. If I see a very good question, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna start another video. I'm gonna make an episode, that's right, with your question, and I'm gonna mention your name as well. So if you like that, comment below with a question, sleep related question. And when it comes to you going from where you're at with your sleep and your energy to that magic place where you get good sleep and you just have more energy, more power, more drive to do the things that you want to do in the day. When it comes to that, every episode, the goal of these episodes that I'm shooting here, it's kind of getting you from here to here. So click the subscribe button down below if you want this. If you don't want this, don't do it. But if you do, click that subscribe button, click that notification button if you haven't already, to get notified and not miss out. Because what you don't know about sleep, as we talked about today, it can cause you bad sleep and low energy and no hours in the day, no drive in the day, no ambition, no motivation to do the things that you want to get done. So, thank you again for hanging out with me, and let's see what's gonna happen next. What's coming up next? I want you to imagine that Oasis, our queen of anxiety and misery and despair, she comes to you. That's right, she comes to you. You can see her new haircut, her dark blue the flocks of her dark new blue haircut just waving as waves of the ocean as she comes to you. You are a little bit confused what's going on, and she takes your hand, she yanks it, you maybe clench your fist, but she opens the fingers forcibly of your hand, and as she does, she places $1,000 bill in your hand. As you look at that green, crisp $1,000 bill, she puts a second one in your hand, and then a third, a fourth, a fifth one, until she puts a stack of $1 million in $1,000 bills in your hand. You are now holding a stack, $1 million. And Oasis tells you, this is for you. I know I'm very generous, but in return, the catch is, I want something from you as well. I want 3 hours of your sleep. So, what does that mean, you ask? Well, that means if you're sleeping on average, let's say 7 hours a night, that means now we're gonna go 7 minus 3, so we're gonna sleep 4 hours on average. If you're sleeping 6 hours on average, now we're gonna sleep 3 hours on average, maximum. Would you take that deal? Well, coming up very soon, we're gonna meet a character who Oasis is gonna make a very similar deal to. So, stay tuned for that.